Welcome to Can You Please Just Listen? The White Album. Look at the walls. They're so much lighter. Oh my goodness. This feels like we moved to a new house. We have not. We're in the same house, it's just bright here. Oh, I didn't check what episode this is. This feels like 19 though. This is episode 19, and if I'm wrong, you'll see my mouth doing 19, but I'll dub in the right number. It's pretty exciting, right? The magic of movies. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. This is like a short movie.
It is.
For another reading of the Animorphs. Dramatic reading, most likely.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We're up to chapter 10. The camera is flickering a little bit today, and I don't know how to fix it. So until we can fix that, I apologize for our technical difficulties. Pretend it's for dramatic effect.
It's so bright.
Probably. I don't know. Do we remember where we landed off? Was Jake a dog still?
Jake was a dog. I think
Jake was a dog. It was weird.
His brothers laugh.
Jake was a dog. His brothers laugh. Oh, it's a dramatic reveal. If his brothers laugh, could be evil. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I'm gonna start reading.
Yeah.
Table's creaky today. We're having a lot of problems.
Table's creaky. I'm yawning.
We're recording on a Tuesday, not a Friday.
The dogs are actually good. They're on the bed next to us right now. They're over already, but it's okay.
I'm gonna close some apps. I don't want to get emails and all this, so I'm closing my email, guys. This is a professional operation, and I'm a professional.
He is. Jesse edits all of our tape and film and creates all the clips and I just
had Spotify open running while we're trying to record too, so it's a work in progress.
Yeah, but on top of your full-time job, you do this for fun.
I have a sickness.
You have a very strong motivation to always be doing something. It's motivating, but also like I can't compete.
If you're eating.
So when I'm just sitting on the couch because I'm
shaking in the
zapped
room.
of energy these days, and you're just like.
I'm gonna read.
We got creaky chairs, creaky tables.
This is gonna be a rough one, folks. It's gonna be good, but it's gonna be rough.
Oh man.
All right. Oh, we're out of dog time. We're into.
This is number 3. Yeah, number 3.
Do I have to be a yawn counter in the video? I'll do a yawn counter.
You might have to. I don't know why. I was doing fine up until we set up. We did all this recording. It was all great. Sit down. Literally, Jesse starts to hit the button to start recording, and burst yawn. Okay, continue. Sorry.
I called all the others on the phone after I got done morphing back to my normal body. Tobias took off on his own, saying he'd hook up with us later at Cassie's farm. I was on the kitchen phone with Cassie when Tom came in.
I could just picture, sorry, when you said took off, what's Dwight's cousin's name?
Mose?
Mose in
Just taking off down the street, chasing cars.
I was going to say Parks and Rec. It's not, we watched a rerun of Parks and Rec this morning. The Office. But I could just picture him, how he's always just running on the side of the road.
Just straight line, head down.
Tobias running on the side of the road.
Dude, I'm going to run. All right. Tom came in. Oh, there you are, he said. I covered the mouthpiece. Yeah, Tobias said you're looking for me before. I just want to shut your dog up, Tom said. He turned the chair around backward and straddled it. I hesitated. For some reason, I didn't want to talk to Cassie with Tom listening in. I'll just see you there in a couple hours, okay? I told Cassie. I hung up. I looked over at Tom. He's bigger than me, even though I'm not exactly small. Oh, Jake's a beefcake.
It could be height.
Beefcake.
Doesn't mean width.
Beefcake. I don't mean fat, I mean beefy.
Like solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom is bigger than me, even though I'm not exactly small. His hair is darker, almost black, while mine is brown. I had always trusted him. Past tense. He wasn't like a lot of guys who pound on the younger brother. Phrasing. We were always kind of close, at least until the last year or so. Dramatic pause. Somehow, we just weren't spending as much time together.
Oh, it never has has something to do with the fact that he may or may not have something in his brain.
Yerk. Partly, it was that he was involved in this club called The Sharing. Don't like that. They did all this stuff together, so he was busy a lot of the time. The thing is, Tom should have been the very first person I told about all the stuff that had happened. But as I was sitting there watching him munch toast, I just had this feeling. This feeling said, no, this has to be a secret, even from Tom.
Also, like, don't trust Tom.
Don't trust
I
him.
know he's your older brother. Like, I'm an older sibling, and like you want to have your back for your younger sibling, but like Tom's even creeping me out.
Tom's creeping us all out. Instead, I told him the other thing I was afraid to tell him. I didn't make the team. I said, "What team?" he asked. He looked puzzled. "What team?" "The basketball team." "Your old team?" "Oh, too bad," he said. "Too bad?" I repeated. I could not believe how little he seemed to care. He's different now. "It's just sports," he said. He munched another big bite of toast. "Just sports?" I couldn't stop repeating what he said. Tom, saying sports were no big deal? No way. He lived for sports.
Kiddos are kicking like crazy right now. Sorry.
Motorcycle outside, the twins kicking Megan in the stomach. Rough episode. Rough episode, everyone.
Lock and load, guys. This is
Sweet. "Yeah, I just don't have your total skill." He shrugged. "Well, I quit the team anyway, a couple days ago." I practically fell off my chair. "You quit? You quit the team? You didn't even talk to me about it? What's the deal?" "I didn't say anything because I knew you and Dad would make a big thing of it. Look, there are more important things than throwing balls through hoops," he said. He had this mysterious look in his eyes.
brainwashed.
Yerked.
Yeah, what's it? It's not yerk washed. Yerk.
Controlled. They call it controllers.
You just call it yerked. Can we just say you've been yerked?
I don't know if we should, but we could. You got yerked.
Because that sounds like
Next
something
shirt.
cool. Like you don't want to be yerked.
Why is the camera flickering
I
so
don't
much?
know. It's flickering a bunch.
I can't fix it while we're recording. We'll fix it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe that's been yerked too.
I figured he meant that girls were the most important thing. Besides, he added, we do much cooler stuff at the sharing. Maybe you should join up.
The fact that it's called the sharing
It's
is just
also capital T, capital S.
it's very cult-like.
1000%
Like
cult-like.
Stranger Things cult-like, but not even as cool as the Dungeons and Dragons club.
Yeah, because that's not a cult.
Like
that's just a game.
No, and that's like a cool club, but just something about the sharing is like
It's
the
upsetting.
reaping or
It feels
the
very bad.
purge or
Mm-hmm.
it's ominous and
It's not good.
not good.
That's all I can tell. I was stunned. Obviously, Tom and I were further apart than I had realized. You reading ahead?
No,
She's reading ahead.
no. Trying to. I just realized like the font is big enough that I can see it from here.
It's a large font.
But no, I'm not reading ahead.
You can if you want.
I didn't. Sometimes I just don't know where to look.
It's tough, right? You zone out. Everything's fine.
Which is why apparently I yawn all the time, so I just close my eyes.
Something too sleepy. When we were done talking, I headed outside to mow the lawn. I mow the lawn every Saturday. It's my major chore. That and taking out the trash, which I hate, because we have to do all this recycling stuff. Jake.
Oh my goodness, take care of your planet.
When I was finally done mowing and trimming and raking, I hopped on my bike and took off.
Beep, beep.
Ring, ring, ring. Bing. It's training wheel still.
The tassels
streamer,
flowing.
yeah.
I saw it. Not to. Apparently, I'm not keeping us on track today,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. But I saw this reel the other day on Instagram, and it's like totally like 90s things.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have those clip-on like bead things that were like octagon shaped almost, and they went on your bike?
No.
Your bike.
Like on the wheels, on the spokes?
No,
or things?
on the spokes, like the metal things. And every time you
Make noises?
yeah, they would slide up and down the
I didn't have those.
it was like pink and orange and blue and green. I definitely did.
Well, you were a girl.
I was a girl. I also had tassels. Didn't have a bell.
I didn't have tassels. Didn't have the things.
But I did see that, and that's it would go like, which you would think of like, they're like half inch by half inch maybe.
No, I believe you. I did get stuck on my bike chain with my shoelace one time. Was chopping my bike on the tree for like 40 minutes. That was pretty cool.
I fell into a bush of thorns riding around our
Trauma
local
with the
middle
canes.
school. I started going up and I was leaning too much and I fell and I got stuck. My mom was there to help me, but it was thorny bush.
Don't do that. Be safe, kids. All right. Done. He's hopped on his bike and took off. I had arranged with everyone to hook up at Cassie's farm. Jake, that word means different things now. It isn't exactly a normal farm. It's a cool farm. Although it had been in the old days. And they do still have horses and a cow.
Okay, I was going to say, between the sharing and the farm.
It's starting to
you
get really ominous.
Two different cults.
But now the big red main barn is the Wildlife Rehabilitation Clinic. Cassie's father runs it. They take in any kind of injured animal except pet type animals. There are always lots of birds, along with squirrels, deer, and skunks, and so on. Sometimes they even get a bobcat or a fox, or even a wolf.
So they potentially have access to many unique animals.
I like it.
If
They
they
can load
don't
up.
lose their hand.
That would be a problem. I guess the trick is when you do they get a little sleepy, so you got to get there first and be all right.
Yep. Or because it's a sanctuary, it's a sanctuary, right?
Rehabilitation clinic.
So chances are that those animals are probably a little sickly anyways.
Yes, I think
which
it's
means
a
they're
hurt
not
animal,
as
then punch them back out when they're healthy.
yeah. So when they're hurt, when they're recovering, you can
And you get their DNA, not their injuries, it'd be all right.
correct.
Allegedly.
Do we know that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm spoiling things. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be good. Cassie's mom is a vet too, but she works at the Gardens. Also capital T, capital G. That's this huge amusement park that also has a zoo. Or I guess they call it a wildlife park. Another place to get animals for DNA. Luckily, Cassie really loves animals. It would have been hard having her parents if she didn't really love animals. Me, I have a dog. Tobias is a cat. Cassie has everything from porcupines to polar bears.
Polar bears.
I guess the zoo part.
That is true.
They have a polar bear fight.
Polar bears. Flickering's driving me nuts.
I'm not happy about it either. We can pause and try and reconnect.
No, I'll keep my mouth shut. Let's do it.
I'm not giving it a shot. It's bad though.
It is. Maybe just listen this episode and don't watch. Just
Put
listen.
a lot of flashing graphics around. All right. By the time I got there, Marco, Tobias, and Rachel were already waiting outside the barn. Rachel had her face turned up to catch the tanning rays of the sun. Cassie wasn't there yet. I figured she was doing chores. She had tons of work to do around here. Hey guys, I said. Rachel opened her eyes and immediately thrust a newspaper at me. Look, she said, pointing to an article. I started to read the article. It wasn't very long. It said that police claimed there had been a disturbance in the construction site the night before. It said several people had called, claiming they'd seen flying saucers landing there, followed by bright lights. Cool, I said, looking up. So the cops know about it. That's a relief. Keep reading, Rachel said. Do I do a Rachel voice? I don't think I'm ready for that.
No.
The article went on to say that the police had arrived on the scene and found a group of teenagers playing with fireworks. The teenagers had run away. Fireworks were discovered at the scene. The police spokesman had laughed at the reports of flying saucers. It was just a bunch of kids playing where they shouldn't have been. He said there were definitely no flying saucers. People shouldn't be so quick to believe nonsense. But this is a total lie, I said. Ding, 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 ding. Correct answer, Johnny. Tell our contestant what he's won, Marco said. Did you see the last part? Rachel pressed. I read the last sentence. It froze me up good. I can tell you. Police were offering a reward for information on the teenagers. They were looking for us, Marco said. Why would the police be... why would they lie? I wondered aloud. But the answer was pretty obvious. Because you can't say flying saucers are real, Jake.
What did you just say?
You can't say flying saucers are real.
Oh, okay.
Marco laughed his sardonic laugh. Let's see, Captain Brilliant. Would it be because the cops are controllers? Probably not all the cops, Tobias pointed out. If the police have been infiltrated by the controllers, who knows how many others have, too? Rachel asked. Teachers, people in the government, newspapers, and the TV? Math teachers for sure, Marco joked.
President of the United States.
Probably. That might already be a bad one. Might be too late at that point.
Yeah.
We all looked around nervously, like we expected to find ourselves surrounded by controllers. I tried to tell myself it was all a dream, Rachel said. Been there, I said. For a while, no one said anything. We all felt the same terrible feeling, like we were all alone, like suddenly we were dealing with stuff that was way, way over our heads.
All alone.
Mm-hmm.
No one beside me. Thank
Nope.
you, Shrek.
Shrek's always relevant. Marco spoke first. Look, why do we have to deal with this? I say we just forget it. We never talk about it. We never morph. We just deal with our own lives. Rachel and Tobias both looked at me. They were waiting for me to argue with Marco.
Deal with it as in forget it even happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Just deal with our own lives. So not it. Like just live teenage lives.
Yep.
Marco, I halfway agree with you. I started to say. Suddenly, Marco just went ballistic. We could get killed, he yelled. Don't you get it? You saw what happened to the Andalite. This is radical stuff, Jake. This is for real. Real. We could all get killed. Tobias was looking at Marco with this sideways look, like he thought maybe Marco was some kind of coward. I knew better. Marco had his reasons. Is he going to tell us his reasons? Marco shook his head. In a quiet voice, he said, Look, I think these controllers are jerks. But if something happened to me, my dad, he wouldn't be able to handle it. Marco's backstory. 2 years ago, Marco's mom died. Okay, there we go. That's really sad. She drowned. They had never even found her body. Jeez Louise. Marco's dad lost it big time. He totally fell apart. He quit his job as an industrial engineer.
What?
Close to what I do. Was this the reason I became an industrial designer? I don't know. Because he couldn't handle being around other people. Now he was working as a night janitor, barely making enough to support Marco. He spent his days sleeping or watching TV with the sound off. This is a lot of bummers.
Mm-hmm.
You can all think I'm a weasel if you want. I could become a weasel. If you wanted to. Literally. Marco said, I don't care. But if I get killed or something, my dad will flat out die. He's only hanging there because of me.
It's too much pressure to put on your kids.
Jeez. I don't know that he is. Marco's internalizing it.
Yeah.
It might be true. Jeez. I wondered if I should go pat him on the back or something. But if I had... Thanks, they're there. Marco, being Marco, would have just said something sarcastic. There's Cassie, Rachel said, shielding her eyes and looking off across an open field. A horse galloping across the green. Its black mane was flying in the warm breeze. I didn't see any rider. The horse slowed, trotting closer, and suddenly I had a strange feeling about the horse. Cassie and I have been here for a while. Rachel said by way of explanation. She's really good at this. Look how fast she can do it. The horse nickered softly. Then the animal began to melt. The big brown eyes became slightly smaller.
I want to be a horse.
Well, you gotta find an alien who's dying in an abandoned
I
construction
don't
site.
want to. No, I don't. I'd rather the alien live.
Ugh, I know. The long brown muzzle became a human mouth. A thing that was part horse and part Cassie smiled at us with big horse teeth
Centaur.
and said, "Hey kids."
Hey, kids?
Said, "Hey kids." I don't know. Marco suddenly sat down very hard. He had never seen a morphing. Most of us haven't seen a morphing. "It's cool," I said, just trying to sound very relaxed. "It's just Cassie." I decided I'd better be a gentleman and look away.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she's snaky.
Jake, proud of you. After all, when Tobias had morphed, we had kind of morphed right out of our clothes. But I noticed as Cassie emerged from the horse, she was wearing a skin-tight blue outfit. One of those outfits girls wear to do aerobics. I watched and saw something beautiful happen. For a few seconds, she stayed half horse and half human. She reminded me of the Andalite. So, a centaur. I realized it was deliberate. Cassie was controlling the way she morphed. "Geez, Rachel," I said, "you're right. Cassie's good." Suddenly, we heard the sound of tires on gravel. We all spun around. Down the gravel and dirt road came a single black and white car. "The cops!" Tobias cried.
But why? Out of all of the kids, why them?
Because it's a book. I don't know. We don't know if the cops are there for them or not. We
That's true.
assume, and they probably are. But, so Cassie's a horse.
Also, I'm really glad the Tobias voice came in.
Just one. The cops.
The Popo.
Well,
Popo.
so Marco's kind of out. Cassie's super in. Rachel seems super in. Jake's locked in. Tobias is way in. That's kind of where we're at. That's sort of a
Sweet.
tweener chapter.
Yeah.
Basically, it is as good as to not trust Tom.
Not trust Tom, but it's also one of those, it's funny. It's like, all right, you have the morphing ability. Let's figure out how to do it. Tobias and Jake both did it. Cassie already did it. I'm assuming Rachel's
I think
learning.
she's at the farm. Maybe she's a bear or something, or a fox, or a owl. I don't know what animals Cassie has available to her. A skunk.
Porcupine.
Porcupine was listed. Well, another one of the books. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry that the audio and the video are choppy on this one. We got to run some tech support on the setup. We did just set it up again after being broken down for a couple weeks, so things aren't running as smooth as possible. But we appreciate you for sticking with us. Subscribe, like, comment, go on Instagram, go on the websites. We appreciate it. Come back for more. Anything else? Nothing else. Okay, bye.
Bye.